It's time to stop underestimating the snacks and meals around Hollywood studios. During today's Ultimate Disney World Food Guide, we're taking you inside the worlds of Star Wars, Toy Story, and the golden age of Hollywood to show you the best eats and drinks, including the ones the DFB team and I prioritize when nobody else is looking. Hey everybody, it's AJ for Disney Food Blog, and we are back on my favorite topic again, Disney World food. Today we're looking into all the best places to snack and eat around Hollywood studios, including maybe the ones you'll want to steer clear of. And if you stick around till the end of the video, we're going to give you that bonus section where the team and I admit the food and snack places we tend to gravitate towards the most in Hollywood studios when we're off the clock. Say what you will about the restaurants around Hollywood studios, but they certainly aren't boring. Not by a long shot. In fact, there are 3 Hollywood Studios table service restaurants in particular that are highly interactive and cater to 3 types of unique audiences. The first is 50's Primetime Cafe over in Echo Lake. 50's Primetime makes you feel right at home. That is, if home to you means a time capsule of 50s paraphernalia and people you've never met calling themselves your aunt or your uncle or your cousin. 50's Primetime Cafe transports you back in time to an era of checkered flooring and wood paneling and old school wallpaper and black and white TVs to serve up home-style favorites like fried chicken, pot roast, meatloaf, and other favorites that'll remind you of going to your grandparents' house and listening to the cuckoo clocks tweet every hour on the hour. You know how Olive Garden used to have the slogan, "When you're here, your family"? Yeah, 50's Primetime Cafe takes that notion quite literally, for better or for worse. Your server is not just your server. They're a fellow family member, and just like at your family's house, you gotta mind your manners. So yes, you're bound to get reprimanded if you're found with your elbows on the table or refusing to eat your veggies. During one of our DFB reporters' last visits, her dear cousin Kim brought over a 3-foot-long piece of paper so that she could take her reporter notes on that instead of on her phone, because there's no cell phones at the table now, you hear? These family member servers sure do love to push your buttons, but it's all in good fun. You might even be rewarded with a clean plate sticker if you finish up all your food, veggies included. So what type of audience is going to love this restaurant? Those who know how to playfully jest back with their servers and who don't mind the attention being drawn to them in public, even if they have to sing "I'm a Little Teapot" or go stand in the corner. Now, if you don't want to participate in all the family reunion shenanigans, you can tell your server that you'd like to simply observe, and they'll be happy to respect that request. But really, you come here for the silly interactions and the possibility that you might be asked to sing "I'm a Little Teapot" in the middle of the dining room. Yep. This has happened to me. As a natural introvert, I am still healing from this. Now, switching gears a little, with less teasing and more freezing, you'll see what I mean in just a sec. Roundup Rodeo Barbecue over in Toy Story Land is a family-style backyard barbecue where you're invited to join Woody and the gang for a meal of grilled and smoked meats and some fresh and possibly cheesy side dishes. This one's gonna appeal to all the maximalists out there, because the Roundup Rodeo dining room is decorated floor to ceiling with a colorful arts and crafts project-like charm and oversized props to make you feel like you're part of the fellow toy posse. And as a fellow toy, you're going to have to watch out for humans, specifically Andy. This is his backyard. Every now and then during your meal, you'll hear announcements from the toys warning you that Andy's coming. And whenever this happens, everyone, servers included, will have to freeze in place until the coast is clear. While this restaurant is a blast for the whole family, I think it'll really appeal to the younger members of your group due to the familiar characters, attention-grabbing decor, and fun interactive moments. Plus, the barbecue-style food is relatively familiar, making it a good option to share with a group who might not be looking to get as adventurous with their food as they are with the dining room aesthetic. Just keep in mind that Roundup Rodeo Barbecue is not a character dining experience, though it's really set up to look like one. So if you want to meet and greet with the Toy Story gang during the day, your best bet is still to find them wandering around in the Toy Story Land area. Check your My Disney Experience app to find out which toys will be out and about on the day of your visit. And finally, here's the restaurant that'll appeal more to the introverts at heart, like myself, Sci-Fi Dine-In off of Commissary Lane. While the waiting area in front of the restaurant is rather unassuming, made to look like you're in a soundstage, once your host brings you into the main dining room, you'll be transported to a totally different time and place. Sci-Fi is decked out to look just like you stepped into a drive-in movie theater with dim lighting and car hops and cheesy B-rated black and white movie clips, the whole kit and caboodle. Although there are some picnic tables in the back of the restaurant, most of the seats and tables are actually contained within individual convertible cars. stars. And I love this. If you've got little kids, it can be a great treat for them to take the front seats and have the parents sit in the back for a change. Now, I will admit that if you're trying to book a restaurant for your group so you can all sit around and have a nice conversation, this is not the best setup for grubbing and gabbing. But then again, that might also be what you prefer if you've already had a pretty gab-heavy day while standing in line for rides, and your social battery needs a moment to charge back up. When it comes to Sci-Fi eats, think steak and shake core. The big sells here tend to be their burgers, onion rings, shakes, and classic diner-style eats. So what do all these immersive experiences have in common? 1, they're great for families. 2, they all serve up relatively familiar eats and nothing too out of the box. And 3, you're not going to find any other restaurant like them on Disney World property or at any other Disney park, period. Now, if you want to see where each of these Hollywood Studios restaurants ranks for the DFB team and me, and you want to see the top 10 restaurants ranked across all the other Disney World parks and Disney Springs and the Disney hotels too, then go ahead and scan the QR code you see on the screen right now, or click on the link in the video's description for disneyfoodblog.com/top restaurants. And we're going to send you a free PDF showcasing our latest list of Disney World restaurant favorites, including pictures, locations, descriptions, and more. There are 3 weird things you need to know about character dining in Hollywood Studios. Ready? Weird thing number 1. There's only one character dining restaurant in the park, and that's over at Hollywood and Vine off of Echo Lake. Hollywood and Vine is themed to look like a cafeteria to the stars. I know, right? Okay. Featuring wall murals and photo images celebrating vintage Hollywood. It's kind of boring in there, not gonna lie. This is a buffet-style dining experience, though, and while it's definitely not our favorite buffet we've ever had, your kids won't have a shortage of options, and neither will you. Weird thing number 2. Dining at Hollywood and Vine for breakfast is totally different than dining here for lunch and dinner. And no, that's not just because of the different buffet food options and cheaper breakfast price point, though those are a big part of it. The character variety also changes depending on what time of the day you book. In the morning, your family's going to get to party with the Playhouse Disney characters during the Disney Junior Play and Dine breakfast. Though characters may vary, typically you're going to meet Fancy Nancy, Vampirina, Doc McStuffins, and Roadster Goofy. Suffice to say, if your kids have aged out of the Disney Junior phase of life, you'll probably want to go ahead and spend the extra cash on lunch or dinner here instead. That way, you can all meet classic Disney friends that everyone in your group will be able to get excited for, like Mickey and Minnie, Goofy, and Pluto. And weird thing number 3, lunch and dinner both have regular seasonal overlays thanks to Minnie's Seasonal Dine, where the decor around the restaurant plus the character's attire switches up depending on the time of year you visit. There are 5 types of seasonal dines you could potentially experience, and this, again, all depends on when you go. Silver Screen kicks off the year starting at the beginning of January and lasting until the beginning of March. Springtime Dine comes next and runs from early to mid-March and up until late May. After that, it's a full-on beach party. It sets the scene for Summertime Dine, which happens from late May to mid-August. Then we got the super popular Halloween Dine that starts as early as mid-August and lasts throughout the Halloween season. And finally, we wrap up the rest of the year with the Holly Jolly Holiday Dine. Now, since we're already on the subject, let the record show that I, AJ Wolf, feel as if Hollywood Studios' strongest suit when it comes to their food and snack game is their constant variety of seasonal selections. Even when we're not in holiday mode, which is when the parks tend to get the most seasonal snacks, Hollywood Studios still offers a good variety of limited time snacking options year-round that you'll want to grab before they're gone. And while you can find seasonal snacks almost everywhere around the park, here are the top places we go when we're in the mood to try something exclusive and new. First, Trolley Car Cafe over on Hollywood Boulevard. They offer different seasonal coffees and pastries like cookies and cinnamon rolls, whoopie pies, and the occasional cupcake. This is the Starbucks for the park. 2, Woody's Lunchbox in Toy Story Land always has one standard lunchbox tart available, usually the raspberry one, but they also regularly have seasonal lunchbox tart options too, with a unique filling and aesthetically pleasing icing and sprinkle combo on top. 3, Epic Eats over in Echo Lake is your one-stop shop for all things funnel cakes, and that includes seasonal funnel cake options too. And 4, Hollywood Scoops off of Sunset Boulevard takes their seasonal shakes and sundaes very seriously. Just recently, Disney permanently closed not 1, but 2 restaurants in Hollywood Studios. I'm getting ahead of myself. Last year, it was announced that Disney was going to add a brand new Monsters Inc. land inside Hollywood Studios, which will be home to new dining locations, merchandise stands, monstrous shows, and Disney's first ever suspended coaster that's going to show us what it's like to soar above Monsters Incorporated on the back of one of those doors that our impulsive thoughts have wanted to try ever since Mike and Sully did it in the first film. And as excited as we are to step inside the world of Monstropolis for the first time ever, and maybe even eat at Harryhausen's, we did have to sacrifice the Muppets Courtyard to make it happen. Meaning no more Muppet Vision 3D, no more Miss Piggy Fountain, no more Gonzo toilets. And in the case of restaurants, no more Pizza Rizzo and no more Mama Melrose's Ristorante Italiano. Now, if you are missing those infamous puffy pizzas that Pizza Rizzo used to provide, then find comfort in knowing that they still exist in Hollywood Studios over at Catalina Eddie's off Sunset Boulevard. But admittedly, these pizzas just don't taste the same with all the Muppet puns and upstairs disco balls surrounding you. Now, the hole in my heart formed by the absence of all things Muppety might have a chance to get patched up again if Monsters Inc. Land opens that Harryhausen's restaurant they seem to be teasing in the concept art so far. Peep that iconic eyeball in the chopstick sculpture, which is the same one outside Harryhausen's in the first Monsters Inc. film. And so far, it's been in every iteration of the concept art. So why would they do that to us, everybody, if they're not going to give us that restaurant? Now, if it's been a minute since you've watched Monsters Inc., then A, go watch it because it's literally an awesome Pixar movie. And B, Harryhausen's is the ultra nice Japanese-style restaurant that Mike Wazowski takes Celia May to for her birthday. In the film, you can see monsters chowing down on eyeballs and sushi, and I'd be absolutely tickled pink if we could get a really nice sushi restaurant inside Hollywood Studios just like that. Hold the eyeballs. But don't get too excited yet. Probably talking to myself more than any of you right now. Disney hasn't officially confirmed that this restaurant will be coming to the new Monsters Inc. land, which is opening at a later, much later date. But we'll let you know if or when they do announce anything about it. I will get you the info ASAP through our DFB newsletter. You'll know it's been confirmed when you see a lot of exclamation points and alternating crying and heart emojis and probably eyeballs in the newsletter notification. Okay, enough with the maybes of Hollywood Studios dining. Let's get back to the stuff you can actually chow down on during your future visit. Next up, the top 4 DFB classic snack recommendations that you should try, just to see if we've adequately hyped these guys up enough over the many, many, many times we've recommended them in the past. Classic snack number 1, the carrot cake cookie. So this one's actually called the carrot cake whoopie pie now, which I guess that's fine. It's much more of a cake sandwich than it's a cookie sandwich. But the OG version that was once sold in the former Writer's Stop back in the day, may it rest in peace, was called the carrot cake cookie. So the carrot cake cookie is what I'm going to call this thing for the rest of my life. But enough about my weird hangups. The carrot cake cookie at Trolley Car Cafe is made with 2 moist carrot cake rounds sandwiching a thick layer of cream cheese frosting. It's dense, it's rich, and it's just the right amount of sweet. The cake does have a surprisingly strong carrot flavor to it in the best way possible, and that helps cut through the sweetness of the frosting, making it feel more balanced than you'd expect from a treat this big. Classic snack number 2, Jack Jack's Num Num Cookies. So these became popular in Hollywood Studios and Disney California Adventure, which is over in Anaheim, after the second Incredibles film released in 2018. That doesn't sound like a long time ago, but it was a very long time ago because time flies when you're eating cookies. Jack Jack's Num Num Cookies are these thick and warm and chocolate chip loaded tarts that seem pretty basic. And well, that's because they are, but they're also some of the best thick chocolate chip cookies property wide. And that's because the edges are chewy, the center stays gooey, and those chocolate chips are as melty as molten lava. I can remember during COVID when the parks were closed, we actually found the bakery that made these for the park and went over there to get them. So you can pick these up from not 1 but 2 locations in Hollywood Studios, the Market and Neighborhood Bakery, both inside Pixar Plaza. Classic snack number 3, tachos. Tater tots plus nachos, tachos. Tachos have started to pop up in several locations around Disney World property, but the OGs at Woody's Lunchbox walked so that all the others could run. The tachos here are loaded with beef and bean chili, queso, shredded cheese, corn chips, sour cream, and green onions. Now this snack hits all the marks. It's crunchy, it's cheesy, it's savory, and just messy enough to feel indulgent. If you're sharing, grab a fork for everybody, but if you're not sharing, we get it. And classic snack number 4, the Wookiee cookie. Okay, this Backlot Express dessert has its good and not so good days, I understand, but when it's good, it's really good. The Wookiee cookie is made up of 2 oatmeal cookies with a creamy whoopie pie style filling in between, so basically, it's a Little Debbie OCP, just huge. And then just to make it cute and Star Warsy, the top of the cookie is adorned by a chocolate belt that mimics Chewbacca's bandolier. Now, heads up, the reason why sometimes this isn't good is when those cookies are too hard or they're too thick. Some people don't like when that's the case, but listen, if I got 2 oatmeal cookies and a bunch of cream in between, I'm game. We're not all going to have time or want to save for a full table service meal during our Hollywood Studios visit, especially since this is the park with lots of heavy hitter rides and full-on live stage shows that you're going to want to check out. So if you're wanting to stick with Hollywood Studios quick services, but you don't know which of the many quick services you and your fam should start prioritizing, here's a little cheat sheet to help you get started. If you want to support a Disney fast food joint that's seen the most improvement over the past few years, go to ABC Commissary off Commissary Lane. Once upon a time, ABC Com was like a place to go if you wanted very basic theme park eats. But nowadays, this is where you can find a little more interesting and even internationally inspired quick service grub like Mediterranean salad, street tacos, and a buffalo chicken grilled cheese sandwich. If you want to feel like you're dining inside a movie production warehouse, then it's time for Backlot Express in Echo Lake. No, seriously, it might not look like much from the outside, but inside this quick service, there is plenty of seating, plus a whole dining room setup that's packed with props and paint and sets and stunt gear, you name it. As far as the actual menu is concerned, you're going to find staple theme park foods here, as well as a few more unique options like teriyaki bowls, Cuban sandwiches, and buffalo fries that are topped with ranch seasoning, buffalo ranch sauce, and blue cheese dressing. If you're in a pinch and you just need sustenance, like right now, regardless of the quick service theming, eat somewhere in Sunset Ranch Market. Now, I'm not going to lie. I am probably Sunset Ranch Market's biggest hater just because the variety of food stands don't offer the best options or a whole lot of seating or shade for that matter. It's basically all outdoors and it is hot in Orlando. I don't know if you were aware. So this is not my favorite place. Not great food and no AC, right? Why would you not want at least one of those things to be the case when you go to a quick service in Hollywood Studios? But I do enjoy those waffle bowls from Fairfax Fair, which is a part of the Sunset Ranch Market area. And I also like to grab an ice cream scoop or two from Hollywood Scoops while I'm there too. Now, Rosie's All-American Cafe is the keeper of some unexpected tasty items, like the plant-based Hearts of Palm roll and the hot honey buffalo chicken chef salad. Not to mention, it's also the one place in the park to find Pib Extra, which comes with one free refill, and that makes my soda goblin heart very happy. And as far as Catalina Eddie's is concerned, well, enjoy those personal puffy pizzas, my dudes. Different strokes for different folks. Plus, they also just brought in a couple of big old pasta dishes, which, I mean, if that's your jam in the middle of summer in Orlando, go for it. If you want to dine on otherworldly Star Wars cuisine without having to step away from your picky eater tendencies, then Docking Bay 7 in Galaxy's Edge might be for you. Docking Bay 7 offers stuff like Andorian fried chicken tip yip, smoked Kadu pork ribs, Batuan beef and crispy potato, etc. But really, those are all just fancy names with fancy plating for otherwise familiar foods like beef, pork, and chicken. If you want an even better place to grab a bite to eat in Galaxy's Edge, of course, we're going to tell you to go to Ronto Roasters. Oh, maybe this was a little too opinion heavy on our end, but the DFB team and I tend to agree that if we need to grab a morning or lunchtime bite to eat inside Galaxy's Edge, the best place to do it is Ronto Roasters, where you can get an intergalactic hot dog like Ronto wrap made with roasted pork, grilled pork sausage, peppercorn sauce, and tangy slaw wrapped in pita bread. The two major downsides with Ronto Roasters are that A, seating is super limited here, so don't be surprised if you wind up having to take your little space hot dog on the go. And B, Ronto Roasters closes at 3 p.m. daily. That said, after Ronto Roasters closes for the day, Docking Bay 7 will start to offer the main Ronto wrap on their menu to make sure that those who still want the Spatuan delicacy can still order it for dinner. If you want hot dogs, but like jazzed up hot dogs that aren't Ronto wraps, then head on over to Dockside Diner in Echo Lake. This has classic hot dogs as well as a few specialty items, including bacon, mac and cheese loaded dogs as well. And finally, if you want a really good sandwich from a food kiosk that's surrounded by larger-than-life lunchbox items, head to Woody's Lunchbox in Toy Story Land. Yep, I'm back here again, and it won't be the last time you see this place pop up in today's video. Along with tachos and lunchbox tarts, you can also order different sandwiches here, like our favorite grilled 3 cheese, barbecue brisket, smoked turkey. Oh, and if you're lucky, you might be able to sit and enjoy your Sammys on a split-up Baby Bell cheese wheel. I know, living the dream over here. Ooh, we've made it to one of my favorite parts of these videos, breakfast and coffee, because nobody thinks about breakfast when they're in Disney World until they get to the park and they're starving, right? Okay, so sure, you can save money and time by skipping Hollywood Studios breakfast and packing a granola bar in your park bag instead, or grabbing some complimentary coffee back in your hotel room. But you don't have to do that if you'd rather grab a morning bite to eat once you're there. Here are all the different places you can grab some breakfast and coffee inside Hollywood Studios to make sure your day starts off on the right foot. Or I guess the right coffee? I don't know. Let's start with the main one, the Starbucks supplier of the park, Trolley Car Cafe. Listen, I love Trolley Car. That's where my glorious carrot cake cookie lives, and I'm never going to bash the home of my carrot cake cookie. But Trolley Car does get packed first thing in the morning, which can be a major time suck at the start of your day, especially for a park with so many rides that everybody wants to get in line for. So don't waste precious park time in line for Starbucks fix and an egg sandwich when you can get in line for those A-tier Hollywood Studios attractions first thing instead. Then whenever you get a couple of those priority rides out of the way, you can come back around here and hopefully you won't have to stand in as long a line as you would have had to before. I will never understand, and I will die on this hill, why people get to a theme park early and just go stand in a Starbucks line. It makes zero sense to me. So let me know. If that's you, let me know why you do it. Anyway, Fairfax Fair off of Sunset Boulevard, usually known for its savory waffle bowls served during lunch and dinner time. More on those later. But you can get a Mickey waffle platter served with syrup and bacon first thing in the morning from Fairfax as well. And get this, Fairfax also serves hot coffee and mimosas in the morning. What? Just so you know. There are 2 Joffrey's coffee kiosks inside Hollywood Studios too. One outside the exit of Tower of Terror, that's the one nobody knows about, and that's where you get the Terror cookie, and one inside Pixar Place. And both have that classic lineup, coffee, latte, tea offerings, as well as donuts and specialty cookies, like the Terror cookie, that pop up every now and then. When they don't sell out automatically, that is. They tend to be quite popular if and when they're available. So try to grab that Terror cookie from the Tower of Terror location or the Play-Doh cookie from the Pixar location right when you see them if you want them, because they very likely won't be around for the whole day. Now, Katsaka's Kettle over in Galaxy's Edge. This might not have any substantial breakfast foods, but they do have the cold brew black calf. That's made with Joffrey's cold brew, topped with sweet cream cheese and basically Cocoa Puffs. You can also get the boozy version of this too and have some chocolate liqueur added to the mix for more than double the price of the non-spirited version. So $6 versus $15.50. I don't know. I'm going to take the $6 one, right? But don't worry, you can make up for your lack of intergalactic morning sustenance in Galaxy's Edge by, of course, picking up that morning Ronto wrap from Ronto Roasters. This is my favorite thing to order at Ronto Roasters, hands down. It's similar to the regular Ronto wrap, just take out the slaw and replace it with eggs and shredded cheese. Then there's Woody's Lunchbox, which not only has those lunchbox tarts we talked about earlier and the tachos, but it also has a breakfast version of tachos that takes those crispy, crunchy tater tots and loads them up with smoked brisket, country gravy, scrambled eggs, and a sprinkling of green onions. Now, when it comes to table service breakfasts in Hollywood Studios, well, all you've really got to choose from is Hollywood and Vine, so I guess there's no choice at all. But if you've got a hankering for a nice sit-down morning meal before your Hollywood Studios day, you might want to hop on board the Skyliner and ride over to one of the resorts where breakfast might be a little more satisfying and less, Disney Junior, including places like Ale and Compass at Yacht Club. That's got a great buffet plus a la carte prefix meal that is very, very, very affordable. You've got Kate May Cafe at Beach Club. That's where you're going to meet a bunch of characters. Cake Bake Shop at Boardwalk Inn and Topolino's Terrace at Riviera Resort. Again, lots more characters. So it's only fair that we dedicate an entire point to Hollywood Studios' iconic signature restaurant, Hollywood Brown Derby, because this will, by far and away, offer up the best quality food inside the park, making it one of the best destinations for those who want to celebrate something special inside Hollywood Studios, like an anniversary or job promotion or graduation or, just life itself. Hollywood Brown Derby is a step back in time, back to when Shirley Temple sang about animal crackers in her soup and the famous Hollywood landmark, the OG Hollywood Brown Derby, was still serving movie stars out in California. While the Hollywood Brown Derby in Hollywood Studios is only a replica of the original establishment, the top-tier food and service here would make anyone believe this place is the real deal. The dining room is decked out with Brown Derby hat lampshades, opulent chandeliers, and celebrity caricatures. Plus, I don't know how important this is to any of you, but there's literally the best bathroom tucked away in this restaurant with even more caricatures to look at while you're washing your hands and singing a happy birthday song to make sure you scrub them down long enough. The menu at Hollywood Brown Derby has a variety of upscale options that rotate out fairly regularly, but more often than not, expect to see items like escargot, shrimp cocktail, charcuterie, creamy corned bisque, filet mignon, shepherd's pie, grilled salmon, grapefruit cake, and that famous Cobb salad, and tons of different adult beverage options. I am a giant fan of the margarita flight and the martini flight here, by the way. And we've been big fans of the newish root beer brined pork here lately, which comes with creamy polenta, pickled corn, herb chimichurri, and Barq's root beer lacquer. But know that the menu does change up pretty regularly here for market-inspired options. If you're traveling during a busier season and you're coming up short in the Hollywood Brown Derby reservation department, or you decide the day of your visit that, some of that famous Cobb salad really does sound good right about now, then you may want to try getting on the walk-up wait list ASAP for the Hollywood Brown Derby Lounge instead. Now, the lounge is attached to the restaurant, right outside the double doors on a side patio. And the best thing about this lounge, you can still order anything you want to from the main Hollywood Brown Derby menu. No reservation required. While the lounge doesn't have a very large capacity, the sooner you can put your name on that walk-up wait list via the My Disney Experience app or in person over at the host stand, the better your chances of getting a table later on in the day. I know you've heard of drinking around the world in Epcot, but have you tried drinking around Hollywood? Hollywood Studios is an underrated hub for lounges, bars, and walk-up drink stands galore. So let's go on a boozy bar tour real quick so I can show you all the highlights for those who are 21 and over. We're going to stick around Hollywood Brown Derby and Hollywood Brown Derby Lounge for a bit longer, just because this is where you're going to find the biggest variety of drinks to order from, ranging from wines and drink flights, ports, cognacs, and more. So here's a big tip for drinking around Hollywood Studios that I usually keep tucked away safe and sound in the Hollywood Studios section of our DFB Guide to Walt Disney World Dining. But I guess I'll expose it for now, and you can get a whole lot of other restaurant secrets leaked by picking up this digital guide from dfbstore.com when you get the chance. You don't actually have to have a reservation or be on a walk-up wait list for Hollywood Brown Derby whatsoever if you're looking to grab just a drink from here. There is a walk-up bar near the host stand where you can order a variety of Hollywood Brown Derby drinks while you're on the go. No sit-down experience necessary. Also, there's Baseline Tap House over at Grand Avenue, and this is the best spot for those who love beers on draft and create your own beer flights too. Along with your drinks, you can also order some shareables for the table, including a giant Bavarian pretzel and one of the most affordable charcuterie boards on property for $13. Oasis Canteen is right outside of Indiana Jones Epic Stunt Spectacular, which makes sense considering all the cocktails on offer are Indiana Jones themed. It's like a miniature version of Jock Lindsay's Hangar Bar from Disney Springs. Just don't expect any small bites or indoor seating here. This grab-and-go drink stand only offers a handful of specialty beverages that you can take inside the stunt show with you. Oga's Cantina is by far and away the most popular Hollywood Studios lounge, and that's because it makes you feel like a fellow Star Wars bounty hunter who's just dropped into a spaceport bar to sip on otherworldly concoctions. And you can also, of course, eavesdrop on the bartenders for word of intergalactic mischief and beat bop to the musical stylings of a rather talented DJ droid, who of course is DJ Rex, who, fun fact, is the former Starspeeder 3000 pilot droid from the Star Tours ride. And don't worry, there's plenty of non-alcoholic drinks here as well for those who want to partake in the Star Wars fun but maybe aren't old enough or would prefer to skip the boozy beverages altogether. Keep in mind that this is the only lounge and bar in Hollywood Studios that you will need to make advanced dining reservations reservations for, though you might also be able to get on a walk-up waitlist for it the day of your visit. On a much more underrated note, the Sunshine Day Bar, which is part of the Sunset Ranch Market lineup and also where they used to sell McDonald's French fries back in the day. Who remembers that? Let me know in the comments. Is a walk-up drink stand which often features seasonal cocktails. Recently, the menus offered boozy items like a blackberry moonshine lemonade, frozen strawberry daiquiris, and more. And the last place I want to shout out for now is Tune-In Lounge, which is actually attached to the 50s Primetime Cafe and keeps up with those retro vibes, but in a more living room-esque setting instead of a kitchen-inspired one. You're going to find several specialty cocktails here, as well as a variety of wines and beers too. But our favorite boozy beverage of the bunch is probably the Tune-In PB&J cocktail, made with peanut butter whiskey, blackberry brandy, and Bailey's Irish cream liqueur, topped with a maraschino cherry. Oh, and while you're at it, try ordering the 50s Primetime non-boozy PB and shake here too. While it might not always be available for you to order at this lounge, sometimes it is, so it's well worth asking about just in case. Okay, so we're at my very, very favorite part of this video, which, you know, earlier it was like almost my favorite when we had coffee and breakfast, but this is my very, very favorite. Okay, this is where the DFB team actually eats when we are in the park. So the DFB team and I don't always go to Disney World just to work. We are Disney fans through and through, which means on our days off or when we have some precious vacation time, we like to grab the family, pile into the car, and head over to the parks to join in on all the fun with everybody else. And those are the days when we have the freedom to eat whatever we want, wherever we want to. Best days ever. So where does the team really gravitate toward in Hollywood Studios when we're not on the clock? So Ronto wraps are a solid place to start. There's a good reason we talk about these space hot dogs all the time, because our team absolutely loves them. And not just the OG version. Our reporters love coming here for breakfast, again, that's me, those morning wraps, and lunch for the classic pork option, as well as the Zucchi wrap, which is the strictly veggie version made with grilled zucchini, smoky chickpea onion slaw, creamy garlic tahini sauce, and fresh cilantro wrapped in pita bread. Some of our writers even prefer the Zucchi wrap over the meat-based one, including my scriptwriter, DFE Bria. Speaking of which, Bria added 3 options of her own to shout out in this point. The first is the shrimp tacos, 2 count from ABC Commissary, topped with cabbage slaw, chipotle mayo, and mango salsa. These also come with a side of Mexican rice and pork black beans that are topped with queso fresco. All that food for $13, you're gonna rarely find that at the grocery store nowadays. The second option is the roasted Andorian chicken salad from Docking Bay 7, if she's looking for a lighter meal with fresh fruits and veggies. And the third, this one's kind of out of left field, but I see where she's coming from, is the Roundup latte from the Joffrey's kiosk just outside Toy Story Land, which is made with cookie butter, dulce de leche, whipped cream, sprinkles, and animal crackers. Wow, that's not just a coffee, Bria. Even though Bria is not the biggest fan of hot dogs, several members of our team are, which is why we have reporters who absolutely love to swing by Dockside Diner over at Echo Lake to pick up one of their specialty loaded options. This is something we don't talk about very much here on the DFB Guide YouTube channel, so pay attention. One of our reporters gave a big old gold star to the California BLTA dog, which is bacon, lettuce, tomato, and avocado, although it's also topped with black pepper mayo and drizzled with mustard aioli. And you know we love an aioli around here. Now, I guess Dockside didn't want to keep drawing out that acronym because then it would be like BLTAMA or BLTAPMMA. Anyway, BLTA. Our project manager, Lisa, basically gave me a play-by-play of her best Hollywood Studios food day, and a good chunk of it took place over at the Hollywood Brown Derby Lounge with a grapefruit martini in one hand and an old-fashioned in the other. And as for me, a snacking/dining day around Hollywood Studios when my free will gets to have its way looks a lot like carrot cake cookies. Kidding, sort of. Not actually. I love these things and get really sad when they switch out for the seasonal options temporarily, because for me, it's carrot cake or bust. Now, when it comes to the more substantial stuff, you're going to find me hanging out in Backlot Express, happily munching on my chicken tenders and extra side of plastic cheese. Now, even though the plastic cheese here costs $1 more, just like it does at other locations where it's offered in Disney, Backlot tends to hook you up with the biggest cheese cups for maximum chicken strip dipping. Now, while some of the DFB writers would argue that the chicken strips should be dipped in the Backlot Express honey mustard instead, which they claim is some of the best on property, we can almost all agree on the team that Backlot takes those basic theme park staple options and makes them a whole lot more crave-worthy in their own special way. And you know that I've got a love for buffalo stuff. And if you didn't, well, surprise, now you do because I'm from Buffalo. But the buffalo chicken grilled cheese sandwich from ABC Commissary. Yep, we're back at ABC again. Who would have thunk? I know, if you've been watching DFB Guide for a long time, you know that ABC Commissary has gone through, I don't know, a renaissance of sorts. Anyway, along with the buffalo chicken on the grilled sourdough bread, this sandwich is also loaded with lots and lots and lots of Monterey Jack, provolone, cheddar, and cream cheese. Again, it's not going to be everyone's cup of tea, but I, a certified cheese and buffalo sauce fan, could order this one multiple times in one trip and be perfectly content. And then, out of all the waffle bowls at Fairfax Fair, you betcha the one I'm ordering the most is often going to be the one loaded with buffalo chicken. Chicken nuggets, buffalo sauce, coleslaw, fluffy mashed potatoes, all in a waffle bowl. It's the combo I never thought I needed until I found out about it. And now I need it. And just because my inner soda goblin isn't going to allow me to wrap up today's video without mentioning this one final thing, Rosie's All-American Cafe is the only spot where you can find the Dr. Pepper dupe Pib Extra. And that was a game changer for me, y'all, especially considering how close it is to Fairfax Fair. Progressive dinner, anyone? So, are you hungry? Because chicken strips and plastic cheese is sounding really good right about now. While I go see what I've got in my freezer back home and dream of my next Hollywood Studios visit, why don't you go ahead and check out our other Ultimate Guide food videos for the other Disney World parks that we've recently released. And don't forget to pick up our free Top Disney World Restaurants PDF over at disneyfoodblog.com/top restaurants. Thanks for listening, everyone, and thanks for watching. As always, this is AJ for Disney Food Vlog, and we'll see you real soon.